My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Babylon. And this is a movie I was very excited for because it's directed by Damien Chazelle. He directed two of my favorite movies, La La Land and Whiplash, and First Man was a decent movie, but still, anything he makes, I'll be there day one. But then reviews started to come out for this movie, and some people really loved it, and some people hate this movie. So I was curious to see which side I'll land on, and after watching this movie, I land on the side that really loves it, and this is easily my favorite movie of 2022. I think this movie is just phenomenal, and the more I think about it, the more I love it. It was a highly entertaining movie while watching it, but there's so many bigger ideas it's exploring, and it's done so in such a masterful manner, and I think this movie is just perfection. I totally get why some people might not like it. It's not for everyone, but it was for me, and yeah, I was just okay. Let's just get into it. First, twist the cast. Margot Robbie is the lead in this movie, and she's absolutely fantastic. This is the best performance I've seen from her. She brings so much energy to this character, but she also brings a lot of humanity. And no matter how crazy and out there she is, you do feel the sad human that's underneath all that. And I think she's just terrific here. You've also got Diego Calva, who nobody is talking about, and I don't get why. This is a great performance. He is the glue that holds this movie together. He is the walk, and he does a great job carrying this movie. And when he needs to bring emotional weight, he does so perfectly. And then you've got Brad Pitt, who's been in movies for decades, and the guy is just one of the greatest actors ever. This could have been a thrown away performance and a thrown away character, but what he's able to bring to him is just top notch. I really think that this is yet another one of Brad Pitt's best performances. He's only getting better now, and really blown away by his work here. Then we've got Tobey Maguire, who I'm not going to lie, he's only in this movie for like 10 minutes. But that said, those 10 minutes are incredible, and this is some of the best acting I've seen from him. He manages to be hilarious, but also deranged and menacing all at the same time, and I was just on edge that entire scene. So, really amazing work by him. Then you've also got Jovine Adipo, who I thought was really great in this movie too. He could have just been a background character, and he kind of starts off that way, but he does become a more fully fleshed out character by the end, and I thought he was great. You've got Lee Jun Lee, who isn't in the movie much, but she definitely left an impression. She just has a commanding screen presence. And you've got Jean Smart, who's only in one scene, but once again, another terrific scene that tackles big ideas, and she brings the appropriate amount of weight to it. So the entire cast is just phenomenal. Everybody is delivering on some of the best work here. And Damien Chazelle does an incredible job directing this movie. For a movie that's 3 hours and 10 minutes, it just flew by. It never dragged to me once. And even though I really liked Avatar, that movie I definitely felt the lengths of. And this movie is just a tiny bit shorter, and it felt much shorter to me. So really well done by him. And like there's just so much going on, and he's able to keep it focused at all times. And the cinematography by Linus Sandgren is really fantastic. I love the amount of one takes that just allow you to get immersed into an environment. Like the first half hour of this movie is just a non-stop party sequence, and when the title Babylon appears on the screen, I'm like, that was just the start. Like, what am I in for? And yeah, Damien's able to bring a chaotic energy to it. The sound in this movie is really great, which is essential for the story it's trying to tell. There are two scenes in particular One's just a throwaway joke in a bathroom that actually cracked me up really hard. And there was another scene regarding Margot Robbie's character trying to act, and my guess would be it's a 10-15 minute long scene. Comedy gold. Um, wow, just I was just dying of laughter. Brilliant, hilarious scene. And the score by Justin Hurwitz is just the best of the year. I love the unique jazz sound he brings to this movie, and the track Voodoo Mama is just top notch. And I also love how, in the quieter moments of this movie, he brings a similar sound that he brought to La La Land, but in La La Land, it felt like it was a dream, and here it feels like nostalgia. And I really love the way they did that. I don't know if it was an intentional choice or not, but I love that. And like I said, there's a few hilarious scenes in this movie that I already mentioned, but I laughed a lot. Like, this is forced a comedy more than anything else, and it fully delivers on that. And I can see some people complaining about some tonal whiplash. See what I did there? Because there are some really funny scenes that end with something tragic happening, and the movie doesn't really go into it all that much, but it really works in a thematic kind of way. But when this movie is trying to be emotional, it really works. I found the last hour of this movie to be very heartbreaking, and by the end, like the last moments of this movie, I was just in tears, and I was just moved by what I was watching. And yeah, really well done there. And the movie's not playing it safe by any means necessary. Like, everyone seems to be, like I said, loving it or hating it, and it's not hard to see why, because this is a very out there, insane movie. It is bold, it is ambitious, and I love that about this movie. There is one segment that actually turns into a horror movie. That isn't exaggeration. That is exactly what it turns into for a small portion of this movie. And it reminded me of Barbarian, but actually did it better. So, great cast, funny, emotional, great direction, cinematography, sound, music, all of that. But this movie also completely works on a thematic and story level. The way that it just paints this fully formed picture of Hollywood, pros and cons and everything in between, is just top notch writing. There are some moments where the most absurd and random events just lead to some pure magic captured on film. And you understand the passion that Damien Chazelle and that we all have for movies. But then it also shows what people put through to get to that point. Especially some of the more background crew members that you haven't heard of. And how the industry treats them. How disposable they are. And how the big stars don't really get treated any better. They get chewed and spat out like they're nothing. And I think the movie highlights all their flaws and insecurities and all the great aspects of them in just a fully balanced manner. And I also love how it comments on the progress of technology and how things are constantly evolving and changing and getting caught up in what once was and not going forward with the times. And how we are very nostalgic for the past despite its flaws. I got a feeling that people don't like it when this movie turns into a horror movie. Uh, I'd say if you view it through the lens of looking at how we viewed entertainment in the past, it really works. And it just, the last scene just, don't want to give anything away. Just what the kind of emotions and nostalgia that watching a movie can bring is captured so well, in just how movies are constantly moving forward and doing new and exciting things. And this movie's so good. And it's not just that. This movie also makes like a bunch of commentary on the human condition and trying to leave behind a legacy that matters and coming to terms with all mortality, both in real life and in the movies. And the movie just fully fleshes out each and every one of its ideas, and they're ingrained in the story and characters, and each character is fully fleshed out. And it's just, the more I think about this movie, the more it fully works. Like some movies, the more I think about, it just crumbles. But this one, the complete opposite. I'm completely blown away by what was accomplished here, and I loved it. I think this movie is just perfection. It is. I loved it. Like I said, it's very long, and I kept waiting for this movie to drop the ball, and it never did. And that just makes me very happy. So this movie is dealing with lots of ideas and fully explores them in fully fleshed out ways with emotion, and it's hilarious and great cast, great directing. Just, it excelled in absolutely everything. This is my favorite movie of 2022. I can't recommend it enough. I can't promise you'll love it, but I will say that you won't see anything else like it. And I'm gonna go ahead and give Babylon a 9 out of 10. I'm just on cloud 9 right now. I just really loved this movie, and between this, Whiplash, and La La Land, Damien Chazelle is just really making a name for himself, and yeah, just so good. This movie was just incredible. But did you see Babylon? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.